Hello, people. Welcome once again to Spicy Talk. This is Stories Unscripted with Omadia, where I bring you true life stories. Yes, things happening in the society, like real life stories. These things are real, these things are true. And today's topic is grave jealousy. Dangers of grave jealousy. Stories like this make young ones who are not yet married, scared. It makes them get scared of marriage because sometimes they look at the married people and they wonder, why are these people even married? If this is what marriage is all about, I don't want to be married. I've had a lot of young people say, I don't think I want to get into this marriage. If what I'm saying and what I'm hearing, it's what marriage is all about, then count me out. Well, do you blame them? No. All marriages are not the same. Some are made in heaven, while others were actually created by the devil himself. Stay with me as I take you through this story. This story is going to open your eyes to what excessive jealousy can cause. The jealousy, especially when it's taken to the extreme, can ruin home. Now, this is about a lady who has been married for 18 years. A woman, rather, not even a lady. 18 years marriage. God. I read the story that was sent. It's got me thinking, how could one waste 18 beautiful years of her life and that of her loved one because of jealousy? Well, let me get straight into it. 18 years, they've been married. Marriage has been beautiful all along. This woman is very beautiful. I mean, when I say beautiful, she is a goddess. Beautiful woman. She has 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. Perfect. And the husband has been kind. According to her, the husband has been a very good husband, very kind, and provides all her needs. He makes sure he maintains her beauty. According to her, the husband maintains her beauty. He does everything she wants. Like, they have been living in peace and they've been happy. Children are schooling, they are all grown now. When the first child is around 17 years already, heading towards 18. So you can see that her marriage is it is something you can call made in heaven. She said friends compliment her. Even after 18 years being married, guys still woo her, like they still toast her. They see her on social media, they send messages to her. They don't even care that she has a ring on. They don't care her pictures and that of her families are on social media, like she has her family picture on social media. They still say the children are all grown up. Yet this man cannot resist because of her beauty. Well, she said recently she doesn't know what got into her. That was a couple of months ago. She doesn't know what got into her during this pandemic. And she suddenly changed. Her attitude towards her husband changed. And that's because there's this particular friend of hers they've been discussing. This new friend of hers, they've been talking. Somehow, she said, with the way their conversation has been going, she got influenced with some negative things. How the woman controls her husband, how she has upper hand, how her husband does whatever she wants. Whatever she wants. So the husband is at her beck and call, and that's really got her. Rather than remain the good woman she has been, she decided to change her attitude towards her husband. She started suspecting, and that is why, before I go on, one has to be very careful. Be careful of the company you keep. Be careful of the things you listen to. Be careful of the advice you pick up from friends. Be very careful. Subconsciously, you don't know that these things are sitting inside of you. They are sinking, and you will not know when you begin to exhibit those negative advice. You don't know when you begin to exhibit them. We have to be very careful. So she said her attitude changed towards her husband. She started suspecting the husband. She started nagging on, unnecessarily. At any little provocation, she nags. Even when they have a minor misunderstanding, she stretches it. She keeps smiling with the husband. This same man that has been very good to her. She became an FBI, CIA put together, searching the husband's phone all the time. He doesn't password his phone. Whenever he gets back from work, she's quick to just go through and read out. She reads his chat out. Who is this person? And the husband has to explain. You can imagine how frustrating and draining it can be to always explain who everyone on your chat is to the wife. So she said this thing continued, and she became so obsessed. Suddenly it's as if there's a demon released inside her that is now controlling her. She became so obsessed with finding fault with the husband, always finding fault, nagging at any little provocation, keeping malice, shouting, insulting the man. And she said she doesn't even know where this whole thing came from. As of the time all these things were happening, she was so blinded. She was so blinded with rage, blinded with anger, blinded with just so many negativity. She said her husband called her and sat her down one fateful day and said, "You have changed. 18 years we're married, like you're suddenly exhibiting some traits, some negative attitude. What has come over you? What is the problem? Suddenly you start suspecting me. Suddenly you nag too much." And she said, "To hell with you. I don't care. You have to change. You have to be this, you have to be that." She said to the husband, said, "Okay, the women you are suspecting, suddenly my colleagues can no longer talk to me." She said, "Your colleagues, my food. If you don't keep your dangling rod in one place, I'm going to make your life so miserable." She promised him that she's going to make his life so miserable. Even her children, the eldest, who is 17 plus here, about 18, called her and said, "Mom, you are changing. You are becoming something else to Dad. You are nagging too much. You fight Dad too much." And she said they better tell their dad to put himself together, else she's going to make the house a living hell for him. She didn't listen to the children. She didn't listen to the husband. And she was just being influenced by this friend of hers. And it's as if a demon was released truly, because she said she doesn't really understand what led to that. The husband has been good to her. So that was a fateful day. The man went to, after the lockdown, that work resumed. He went to work, came back home very late. Said he had a late meeting at the office, and then on his way back, traffic. You know how the devil does things. Just that time you're having issues, that is when different things will just start coming up to make her claims have substance. The man came back from work and she was so furious. She was breathing hot hell down his throat, and he was trying to explain. I went for a meeting. From the meeting, we didn't finish on time. On my way back, traffic, and the woman did not let him rest. She even refused to serve him food. She stopped giving him food. Still, this man kept his cool. This man kept his cool. Despite all she was doing back then, this man kept his cool. All he kept saying is, "I pray God touches your heart. I pray you find the peace you seek for. I pray you come back to your senses. I pray you don't destroy this home before you change." And she would just keep saying, "Oh, to hell with you. Go to hell. What happens? Worst case, divorce." So she doesn't care about the marriage anymore. Well, she continued with her nagging and her newfound attitude with the husband, until recently this same Jezebel called friend, called her one day and said, "I saw your husband somewhere with a lady in one hotel, one joint, And she said the moment the friend, it's as if thousands of soldier ants beat her bum. She stood up. She was so furious. Picked her phone, picked her car key, and then boom, she got the address from this same Jezebel. She drove straight like someone possessed with legions of demons. She drove straight to the joint, and she found the husband there. Yes, seated with a lady. The lady was having a drink and a snack, and the husband was just having water. She went there like a mad woman, ran straight there. So, this is what you have been doing. And when I confront you, you deny, you say she's the woman I saw on your chat. Like, oh, now look at you with your side chick. And she said, out of anger, she picked up the bottle of the soda the woman was, the lady was drinking. She picked it up. She wanted to smash it on the woman's head. The husband mistakenly was trying to protect the lady, and the bottle landed on his head. Boom! He slumped, started bleeding. That was when her eyes cleared. It's as if suddenly the demon possessing her left her to her feet. She found the husband on the floor, bleeding, and she started screaming, shouting, pleading for him to stay alive. Bleeding, crying. Well, help came. They rushed the man to the hospital. He has lost so much blood, but he didn't die. He stayed in the hospital for a long time, like 2 weeks. Said the man, she all through that period, she was by his side, begging and asking for forgiveness. The children hated her, like they were so furious with her. They hated her, they were so mad that they don't even want to see her. She was by the husband's side until he was discharged. He came back home. The family were angry. I mean, her in-laws, they were so angry with her. Her children were angry. And she said she knelt down the day the man came back from the hospital, the day he was discharged. She was begging. She was asking for his forgiveness. The man forgave. She said the husband forgave her. Said, I hope you will change. The lady you found me with is a client sent by her boss. Her boss sent her to come and submit something in his office. When the lady came, she forgot her purse. Her ATM, money, everything was in there. And he already left the office. So he had to go back, pick it up, and then waited for her somewhere. When she came and met, and she was very hungry. She has ulcer. So he asked her to take some snacks before she would leave. Handed her purse over to her. So that was what happened that day. She believed him. She saw the sincerity in his eyes. But guess what? 2 months later, the man started having problems in his head. Where it was bad. They went for a scan and discovered that there are particles of bottles left in his head that has caused damage, severe damage. This man did not live long. 2 months after that incident, he died. He died, he passed on. You can imagine how furious the children would be. You can imagine the anger of the family. She was so devastated. Her life was hell. Everyone hated her. Her children abandoned her. They all went far away from her. They all left her. And as for the in-laws, well, she said they were nice enough not to charge for manslaughter. They told her life is already miserable for her, so they're not going to add to it. She's going to live the rest of her life a widow and with a widow and motherless, because her children has abandoned her. Husband is late, so you can imagine the guilt. Let her die a miserable life. So they left her. They didn't charge her to court. She said right now hell is worse for her. She's so miserable. No children, husband is late, no friends, no job. Everybody turned their back on her. And she said if she has her way in her next life, she will never ever exhibit any atom of jealousy. She would never. She's asking that in her next life, God make her come back. She will make it up to the husband. But it's too late. Well, I don't know if she's coming back. But you see, the moral of this, from what I picked from this woman's predicament, is that a lot of women are too jealous. Too jealous. You suspect your husband. You can't trust. Give him a chance. Trust him. Give him a chance. Sometimes you just conclude, but they are not true. Because you're filled with rage, with jealousy, you listen to people. All men are not cheats. all men are not dogs. Try to trust your husband. Listen to him. Believe him for once. Don't ruin that beautiful home. Don't ruin your home out of jealousy. And at the end of the day, you begin to regret. Now imagine her life is all filled with regrets and pain and sorrow. I don't know, I pray she find peace. Well, this is how I come to the end of today's story. I hope you have picked a thing or two. I hope you can look back, you can look inward, you can look inside of you and ask yourself, where are you headed to with this jealous attitude? I hope you can change. If you're listening to me right now, I hope you change. I hope you learn to trust. I hope you give your partner a second chance. Well, I'll see you next time with an interesting story on Stories Unscripted. I am Onwadia. For now, I say bye-bye.